God damn, that game was not pretty. At least we won, but oh, it got ugly at the end. What's going on, Jets fans? Welcome back to Recap Reactions for game, 63 out of 82, I believe, for the Jets 2021-2022 campaign. The trade deadline is tomorrow. Lots of stuff happening around the league. The Jets have a lot of interest, apparently, on Andrew Kopp, Paul Stastny, and a few other pieces. But before we get to that point of them selling, we had a game against the Blackhawks that we had to win, or at least attempt to win, because even though the Jets played a pretty good first period where they ended up being 1-0, it was kind of even, I would say, for some parts of it. Chicago made some good pushes, but Ehlers gets a great wraparound goal. He beats Fleury early, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe this will be a game where the Jets play a little down to their opponent at times, but they'll end up getting the win, and, it'll be okay from that. Then we don't have to really worry that much, right? That's what I'm thinking at the end of it. And then it gets to 2-1. It's a 2-1 game. Taves and Strome really quickly make it 2-1. And it's like, okay, well, what's happening there? That's not what I wanted to see right now. That's not how you start a game. And I'm thinking there, okay, the Jets need to come back and get some consistency. They need to come back and play this game strong. I was watching this game for a lot of it, actually, with Zach. We were on a call together. We had our screens up. We we're just having a good time watching, looking for trades, and hanging out together, watching the game. And honestly, what we both saw that was just really out there, was bothering me, was just this team just felt weird. Like they felt like they were going out there half cocked. Like they I don't know. It's just this weird atmosphere that was around this team tonight. And yeah, they got the win, but like I said, it wasn't pretty. It ended up being 6-4, and then you got Jansen Harkins that comes in and gets his 6th and 7th of the game of the season, back-to-back goals for Harkins. Kopp having a 3-point night as well, being involved on both the assists on Jansen Harkins' goals. Svechnikov as well gets his 12th of the season, and the Jets are right back in it. And then Kyle Connor gets 39, just like that. That's a new career high in points and a career high in goals, as well as a career high in assists for Kyle Connor. That was all set. He was kind of tied with where he was in the past, but now he's officially set new career highs based off this season, and he's not slowing down just yet. I really do believe we're going to see a Kyle Connor 50-goal season, which is amazing to think about. And if I'm not mistaken, 52 goals is the franchise record going back to Atlanta, where I believe Kovalchuk holds that for most goals in the season. So, technically he only needs 13 more goals. 13 goals, and he's a franchise leader. I really think that he's going to try to strive for that. 13 goals. If you can get one hat-trick before the end of the season, I can see him easily getting 10 goals spaced out over the remaining 20 games. Yeah, I really believe that there's a good chance that we're going to see Kyle Connor potentially set the franchise record in goals, which is crazy to think about. But I'm very hyped. He had a great game tonight. I love watching Kyle Connor play. He's been the only real positive spot this team has had basically all season long. And then after Kyle Connor, Josh Morrissey comes in, gets an amazing, beautiful clapper, top shelf. He makes it, a 5-1 game at that point, I believe, 5-2 game, and the Jets are sitting pretty poised to come out winning this game well. That's the end of the second period. They get 4 goals in that second period to make it a 5-2 game, and the Jets are sitting pretty. And I'm thinking to myself, with Zach there, this is where they finally showed up. They played where they had to. They got some good goals. They had the whole Fleury without his glove there as well, and that looked really funny. Just stand there like this with his hand out. Imagine if he actually caught that. God, he'd probably break his hand, but it'd be an insane highlight nonetheless. But the Jets are winning. I'm feeling pretty good about this because, they're winning, and that's all I want at this point. It's really that simple. Like, the Jets aren't a playoff team. I don't care what anyone says, playoff hopes and all this. They're not going to make it. Just because you have a 1%, 2% chance, even 10% chance of making the playoffs, that doesn't mean you should or deserve to make the playoffs. And the Jets really haven't shown any consistency to really be a playoff team that's genuinely in the hunt right now, even though they're 4 games back, I believe. So it's this weird spot they're in where, yes, they're close to being in the playoffs, but do they really have any chance left at this point? And especially with all the interest they're garnering on a lot of their expiring contracts, do you really take that risk? It's an astronomically sized risk to try to make it in the playoffs and not sell off your assets. Because let's be real, even if you get into the playoffs, you're going to be playing Colorado. Do the Jets really see themselves as the team that's poised to take down Colorado? I know last year no one expected them to sweep Edmonton, but that was a different team in a Canadian division. Very, very different circumstances. And then not to mention that this game starts up for the third period, and you get 2 goals from Radish and Khrushchev, and the game's right there. It's a 1-goal game. Thank God Blake Wheeler was able to get a lucky break there with some tripping that went down when the Blackhawks were trying to control the puck near the blue line. He gets a semi-break, and Blake Wheeler ends up ending it, and we win the game. Thank God. Like I said, 6-4. But at the end of the day, it was closer than it should have been, especially with that third period. The Jets kind of just slowly gave up and gave more opportunity to the Blackhawks as that third period transpired. And you don't win games like that, especially against the 22-32 Blackhawks. The Jets needed to win this game, and in my opinion, this game isn't going to set the path, because I really believe the idea of, 1 game, 2 games before the deadline, 4 points, 3, none of that matters. Like, this team, we know what this team's identity is, because we've seen it all season long. We know this is a team that will lose to Arizona at home and get shut out. We know this is a team that will get blown up 7-1. We know this is a team that will lead and then blow it. We know this is a team that has inconsistent goaltending at times this season. Sorry, Hellebuck, it's the truth. We know all these elements of this team because we're fans that watch them night in and night out, and these things don't change. Even in a game like this where you win 6-4, this was a game full of the inconsistent play that we've seen from the Jets from game 1 of this season. So, no, this game does not change the trajectory of the Jets making the playoffs. It doesn't. We're not making the playoffs. This shouldn't determine whether or not we're going to sell or not. Not with the way the phones have been ranking. If you haven't already checked out my latest Cop update video from last night, definitely go listen to it. Elliot Friedman comes in talking about how you had teams like Boston, you had the Rangers, you had the Colorado Avalanche really pursuing, and then I've seen reports today as well as Carolina and potentially even the Vegas Golden Knights jumping on the bidding war for Andrew Kopp. If you can get any type of package where you get enough assets to potentially even bring someone else in at the deadline to help in the retool, that's what you need to be focusing on right now. This was a good win because the Jets won. I got to see 6 goals being scored by my team. It was entertaining. I watched it with a friend. I enjoyed it. And just like I bet a bunch of you enjoyed the fact that we won a game. This wasn't a perfect game. This is a game that we've seen a lot of this season where we win, but we blow it, and we win still at the end. It's back and forth kind of, even though which really shouldn't have been a back and forth game. I'm happy we got this win. But this shouldn't change anything. That's what this whole video comes down to, is that yes, we won, yes, it's fun, and I had a good time watching this, and I bet almost all of you did too, because if you don't have a good time watching the Jets win, then you're not really a fan, because even when the Jets suck, I enjoy watching them win. I watched this team suck for years when they first came back to Winnipeg, just like all of you real fans did. I still enjoy watching the team win, even when they're not going to be a playoff team like this year. This game had a lot of problems in it. It shows that this team shouldn't be buying or standing pat at the deadline. It sucks to potentially lose Andrew Kopp and Stastny. I like both those guys a lot. Kopp's been a draft pick from the 4th round. We developed him well. He's a top-line player now, top 6 guy. He's really, really good. Stastny's been a fan favorite for a while here. But let me just put this into comparison for you guys, and a little bit off topic from the game, but at the end of the day, Paul Stastny, we first originally acquired him from St. Louis for a first-round pick in Eric Foley. Then, we traded a 5th round, we traded Joel Armia with Steve Mason to get rid of that contract to potentially free up cap to sign him. So now you're down Joel Armia, a 1st, and Eric Foley. Then we traded, if I'm not mistaken, a 5th round pick for him at the deadline a few years ago when we got him from Vegas. That's a lot of assets for a guy, and then you sign him again to end up losing him for nothing. Again, we can't lose him for nothing again. And if we sign him, why are we signing him? Like, I like Paul Stastny, but should we really bring him in at 37 years old again? I know he's got 17 goals, but really, is that the best bet for this team? We need to sell. We got a lot of good players on this team, and Kopp is one of them, but the amount of value in this year's deadline with assets that teams are getting, you have to trade. This is a great win for the stance that we got to see some goals and some action, and it was a little bit more back and forth than it should have, but at the end of the day, we won. Playoff hopes are technically alive, even though, like I've said, they're not in the realm of real possibility. Time to sell. Make sure to subscribe to see all the types of rumors that are going to be breaking, as well as any major trades that happen in the NHL. I will be covering everything. So with all that being said, make sure to go check out the description for this video. Comment your thoughts. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Check out the Prairie Puck Podcast. Sign up for a BetUS account today with code PEGCITY and get a 125% cash bonus on your first deposit of $100 or more on your account. BetUS, one of the top online gambling websites, sports booking websites in North America, from everything from live casino games, sports books, and horse racing. So if any of that interests you, go sign up for a BetUS account today. Must be 19 plus to play. Have a great rest of your day. Go Jets, go! I will see you with more news coverage as we get closer and closer to that deadline. Go Jets, go, like I already said, and bye-bye.